Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, from the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph.
The reason why it's phrased like this is because we just finished the census, right? The census was only men 20 and up, right? And it doesn't say that there's a cap above 20, but it's talking in regards to. But the previous census, right? They did the same thing, 20 and up, and then they did a census. Then they counted the army, the military might of the people, and it was the exact same number as the census. So they're counting fighting age people. I'm sure they're not sending elderlies who can't even walk 5 miles an hour, right? So we got fighting age people, and then now we're talking about men, and we're talking about the daughters, looks like a little bit.
Manasseh, from the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And these were the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Haglah, Milcah, and Tirzah.
Noah?
And they stood before Moses,
For a
before
girl's
Eleazar the priest, and before the leaders and all the congregation, by the doorway of the tabernacle of meeting, saying,
Our father died in the wilderness, but he was not in the company of those who gathered together against the Lord, in company with Korah, but he died in his own sin, and he had no sons.
Why should the name of our father be removed from among his family because he had no son? Give us a possession among our father's brothers.
So Moses brought their case before the Lord.
What does that mean? Give us a possession among our fathers and our father's brothers. So because their name can't pass on, they want to be given to one of their uncles as wives, just to have their father's name passed on.
The Lord spoke to Moses.
The daughters of Zelophehad speak what is right. You shall surely give them a possession of inheritance among their father's brothers, and cause the inheritance of their father to pass to them. And you...
Oh, they're just talking about inheritance. Give us a possession among our father's brothers. So something that was of their fathers to pass on to them.
You shall speak to the children of Israel, saying, If a man dies and has no son, then you shall cause his inheritance to pass to his daughter. If he has no daughter, then you shall give his inheritance to his brothers. If he has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to his father's brothers.
Okay, so we're talking about inheritance here. Okay. They don't have to go and marry. They're not asking to be wedded off to their uncles.
His father has no brothers, then you shall give his inheritance to the relative closest to him in his family, and he shall possess it.
And it shall be to the children of Israel a statute of judgment, just as the Lord commanded Moses. Now the Lord said to Moses,
Go up into this Mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And when you have seen it, you also shall be gathered to your people, as Aaron your brother was gathered. For in the wilderness of Zin, during the strife of the congregation, you rebelled against my command to hallow me at the waters before their eyes.
These are the waters of Meribah, at Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin. Then Moses spoke to the Lord.
Let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh...
You're talking about when God asked him to speak to the rock, and he will make water come from it. But Moses was angry at the children of Israel, and he struck it. So now he's saying, go up to the mountain of Abarim and see the land which I have given to the children of Israel. And that's it. That's all he gets. He just gets to see it. He can't enter the land of the promised land.
Set a man over the congregation, who may go out before them and go in before them, who may lead them out and bring them in that the congregation of the Lord may not be like sheep which have no shepherd.
Take Joshua the son of Nun with you, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand on him. Set him before Eleazar the priest, and before all the congregation, and inaugurate him in their sight. And you shall give some of your authority to him, that all the congregation of the children of Israel may be obedient. He shall stand before Eleazar the priest, who shall inquire before the Lord for him by the judgment of the Urim. At his word they shall go out, and at his word they shall come in, he and all the children of Israel with him, all the congregation.
Eleazar is the priest that stabbed that Israelite man and the Midianite woman, right? And God liked that because he was taking out God's anger on those people, right? So God is pleased with Eleazar. He's pleased with Joshua and Caleb. So I wonder if Caleb is going to get any special mention here. But it looks like Eleazar is going to be taking Eleazar is one of Aaron's sons, right? And I'm guessing Eleazar will probably take the role of the high priest now that Aaron has passed away, right? Or who is the high priest at this point?
So Moses did as the Lord commanded him. He took Joshua and set him before Eleazar the priest and before all the congregation. And he laid his hands on him and inaugurated him, just as the Lord commanded by the hand of Moses.
Let me look up who became the high priest after Aaron. His son Eleazar. Okay. Yep, Eleazar came after. Okay, makes sense. Let's jump to 28. Daily offerings.
Now the Lord spoke to Moses.
Command the children of Israel, and say to them, my offering, my food for my offerings made by fire as a sweet aroma to me, you shall be careful to offer to me at their appointed time. And you shall say to them, this is the offering made by fire, which you shall offer to the Lord, 2 male lambs in their first year without blemish, day by day, as a regular burnt offering.
So day by day, every single day, 2 male lambs in their first year? What happens if you run out? Okay. For the entire congregation, not every single family. Okay. It has to be, right?
The 1 lamb you shall offer in the morning, the other lamb you shall offer in the evening, and 1/10 of an ephah.
But still, I mean, never mind. They probably have enough, right? Because there's millions of people, 600,000 men. Multiply that by 2 for the women, kids, elderly,
Ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with 1/4 of a hin of pressed oil. It is a regular burnt offering, which was ordained at Mount Sinai for a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. And its drink offering shall be 1/4 of a hin for each lamb. In a holy place you shall pour out the drink to the Lord as an offering. The other lamb you shall offer in the evening. As the morning grain offering and its drink offering, you shall offer it as an offering made by fire, a sweet aroma to the Lord. And on the Sabbath day, 2 lambs in their first year without blemish, and 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with oil, with its drink offering. This is the burnt offering for every Sabbath, besides the regular burnt offering with its drink offering. At
so
the
we gotta do
beginnings
2
of your
more
months,
lambs on
you
Sabbath.
shall present a burnt offering to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year without blemish. 3/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering, mixed with oil for each bull. 2/10 of an ephah of fine flour as a grain offering mixed with oil for the 1 ram. And 1/10 of an ephah of fine flour mixed with oil as a grain offering for each lamb as a burnt offering of sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the Lord. Their drink offering shall be half a hin of wine for a bull, 1/3 of a hin for a ram, and 1/4 of a hin for a lamb. This is the burnt offering for each month throughout the months of the year. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering to the Lord shall be offered, besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering. On the 14th day of the first month is the Passover of the Lord, and on the 15th day of this month is the feast. Unleavened bread shall be eaten for 7 days. On the first day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, and you shall present an offering made by fire as a burnt offering to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year. Be sure they are without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah you shall offer for a bull, and 2/10 for a ram. You shall offer 1/10 of an ephah for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 goat as a sin offering to make atonement for you. You shall offer these besides the burnt offering of the morning, which is for a regular burnt offering. In this manner you shall offer the food of the offering made by fire daily for 7 days as a sweet aroma to the Lord. It shall be offered besides the regular burnt offering and its drink offering.
There's a lot of offerings.
And on the 7th day you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. Also on the day of the first fruits, when you bring a new grain offering to the Lord at your Feast of Weeks, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. You shall present a burnt offering as a sweet aroma to the Lord. 2 young bulls, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year, with their grain offering of fine flour mixed with oil. 3/10 of an ephah for each bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats to make atonement for you. Be sure they are without blemish. You shall present them with their drink offerings, besides the regular burnt offering with its grain offering.
And we have gone over so many things about offerings and sacrifices.
And in the 7th month, on the first day of
more
the month,
offerings. Holy.
you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work. For you, it is a day of blowing the trumpets. You shall offer a burnt offering
That's
as
what
a
they do all
sweet
day.
aroma to
Blow
the Lord.
trumpets.
1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year, without blemish. Their grain offering shall be fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering to make atonement for you, besides the burnt offering with its grain offering for the new moon, the regular burnt offering with its grain offering, and their drink offerings, according to their ordinance, as a sweet aroma, an offering made by fire to the
That's cool. They knew, like God referencing the new moon and all that stuff.
Lord. On the 10th day of this 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation.
Let me look up that. I'm just curious right now. The new moon cycle. Like, I mean, the moon cycle, but I want to know when the new moons occur. New moon, July 28th. Where's the beginning of that? Their grain shall offer. Also, blah, blah, blah. Make atonement before you, besides the burnt offering with his grain offering for the new moon. But what if the new moon doesn't land on the first day of the month? Right? Or did they calculate time differently? Right? Because we do have the new moon in the 7th month, but it's on the 28th. Right? Yeah, I wonder if the way they calculated time is, I mean, it is, right? Because we've had calendar changes and all of that.
You shall afflict your souls. You shall not do any work. You shall present a burnt offering to the Lord as a sweet aroma, 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 7 lambs in their first year. Be sure they are without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for the bull, 2/10 for the 1 ram, and 1/10 for each of the 7 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the sin offering for atonement, the regular burnt offering with its grain offering, and their drink offerings.
I'm curious, man. I want to look up this calendar stuff. What calendar did they use? What is the Bible's calendar? Right? Because they would have had to have just gone off the moon, right? The cycles of the moon. A solar calendar or a lunar calendar. Yehudah Parsi is said to have argued that the calendar of the Bible was solar. Okay. But then how would you do... like, you would need to do the phases of the moon, right? For the months. He lived in or around the 9th century CE. All that is known of him comes from Abraham ibn Ezra in a handful of passages in his Pentateuch commentary. For example, in his gloss on Exodus 12:2, the Israelites used a solar calendar and their months were solar months, like the non-Israelites do. His proof is, keep this statute at its appointed time, since lunar years are not even, since the days of plowing and harvest are dependent only on the movement of the sun, on its moving northward or southward. Exodus 13:10. That's what it said? You shall therefore keep this ordinance in its season from year to year. Keep its appointed time. Keep the statutes at its appointed time. Yeah, but then he added, since lunar years are not even, since the days of plowing and all that stuff. So it looks like I don't know where he's getting it from. He would have had in mind something similar to the Julian calendar, a 365-day year with an additional leap day every 4 years. How? Where is he getting this from? How does he know that? Abraham ibn Ezra polemicizes vehemently against him and attempts to demonstrate that the calendar of the Bible is lunar. Okay, so we got two different opinions. Yet, even he falls back on the claim of the ultimate reason we know that the lunar calendar is correct from oral tradition. For the Torah does not have the rules of determining an explicit year. So how can we calculate the months? Rather, this demonstrates that Moses relied on the oral law. In short, arguing that one calendar or another is used in the Bible is no easy task, since the Bible makes no explicit statement about its nature. Is there like a solar loony calendar, like two of them together? I mean, the only calendar they could use is what they've observed from the moon or the sun. But what I'm looking for is Bible calendar, new moon. I misspelled calendar. The significance of the new moon in Bible times is that it marked the beginning of the new month. The Hebrew calendar is lunar based. Okay, this website is saying, matter of fact, it's lunar based. And it was a time when the Israelites were to bring an offering to God. The beginning of the month was known as not by astronomical calculations, but by the testimony of messengers appointed to watch the first visible appearance of the new moon. As soon as the first sliver was seen, the fact was announced throughout the whole country by signal fires on the mountaintops and the blowing of trumpets. The Hebrew word for month, Hodesh, literally means new moon. In Numbers 28:11, that's what we just saw, the new moon offering is commanded for the first time on the first of every month. Okay, so what they said here coincides with what the Bible said, right? If the new moon was on the first of every month, then that means they had the months. That means the months weren't stationary in the sense that they were always changing. Looks like. I don't know if that makes sense. Are you gonna? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, their calendar might be completely different than how we look at a calendar. So if the new moon is always the first of the 7th month. I don't know how the moon cycles work for when is it repeated? When are the new moons repeated every year? How does that work? Every month. The new moon festival marked the consecration of God of each new month of the year. So every new moon was a new month? Okay, so whenever a new moon happened, that was the first of the month. How many days apart do new moons happen? Okay. The average moon takes just under 1 month to complete its phases, right? And it cycles from new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, and waning crescent, and then it goes back to new moon, right? So I guess you could use that if the full cycle takes 29.5 days. You could use that, right? Every new moon is the beginning of the first of a new month. Boom, 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 boom. Maybe. But how do they work in the half days, right? We gotta look up calendars and stuff later. That's gonna be a whole other video. That'll be. I feel like we could go deep with that.
On the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, and you shall keep a feast to the Lord 7 days. You shall present a burnt offering, an offering made by fire as a sweet aroma to the Lord, 13 young bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year. They shall be without blemish. Their grain offering shall be of fine flour mixed with oil, 3/10 of an ephah for each of the 13 bulls, 2/10 for each of the 2 rams, and 1/10 for each of the 14 lambs. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 2nd day, present 12 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number, according to the ordinance. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering with its grain offering and their drink offerings. On the 3rd day, present 11 bulls, 2 rams, 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams,
Tribe of Levi's
and for the
eating
lambs
good,
by
man.
their number, according to the ordinance.
I don't know which offerings they can
Also 1
partake
goat
of. I
as a
don't know.
sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and
But
its
man.
drink offering. On the 4th day, present 10 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number, according to the ordinance. Also 1 kid of the goats as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 5th day, present 9 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number, according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 6th day, present 8 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number, according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 7th day, present 7 bulls, 2 rams, and 14 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bulls, for the rams, and for the lambs by their number, according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. On the 8th day, you shall have a sacred assembly. You shall do no customary work. You shall present a burnt offering, an offering made by fire as a sweet
Why on the 8th day?
aroma to the Lord. 1 bull,
When
1
did they start
ram,
counting? They started
7
counting. When did they start counting? Was that on the 15th day of the 7th month? You shall have a holy convocation, and you shall do no customary work, and you shall keep a feast to the Lord 7 days. You shall present a burnt offering on an offering made. Okay. It doesn't say when the starting date was. Does it start off after the 15th day, or on the 15th day, or at the beginning of the month, leading up to the 15th day? Is it anywhere around the 15th day? I don't know.
7 lambs in their first year without blemish, and their grain offering and their drink offerings for the bull, for the ram, and for the lambs by their number, according to the ordinance. Also 1 goat as a sin offering, besides the regular burnt offering, its grain offering, and its drink offering. These you shall present to the Lord at your appointed feasts, besides your vowed offerings and your free will offerings, as your burnt offerings and your grain offerings, as your drink offerings and your peace offerings.
So Moses told the children of Israel everything, just as the Lord commanded Moses.
That's a lot. That's a lot of instructions right there. A lot of sacrifice. A lot of offerings. So I'm guessing it's after the 15th day, because it says it started off with, on the 15th day of the 7th month, you shall have a holy convocation. You shall do no customary work, and you shall keep a feast to the Lord 7 days. Right? So I'm guessing from the 15th day, after the 15th day, is when you do the feasts. Keep the feast to the Lord 7 days, and that's when all the offerings are, right? And then they rested on the 8th day. Man, that's a lot. That's a lot of offering. That's, imagine, like, what do they do with all that meat? The Levites had to have eaten that, because that's a lot of food right there. That's a lot. So tomorrow we're gonna jump into the law concerning vows. Okay, that'll be interesting, right? I'm guessing that's gonna be talking about marriage, right? The importance of marriage, because the marriage is a vow to God, a vow to each other and to God, right? In front of God. So that, I'm pretty sure they'll be talking about marriage in that. Ooh, 31 is vengeance on the Midianites. What do the Midianites do? Is that with the Moabites for seducing the children of Israel? I thought that was sort of dealt with back then already. But let's see. We'll find out tomorrow. So that's it for today. We got through 27 and 28 and 29. Hope you guys enjoyed that reading. A lot of sacrifices, a lot of offerings again. God has been talking about a lot of offerings, telling the children of Israel how to offer, what to offer. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Then I'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? You take care. Goodbye.